G'day everyone, my name is Isaac. Welcome to round 2 of the Adrenaline GT GT3 Championship for Season 2. We are here, we're in a new track for this season. Again, we're at St Croix Layout B here in France. And as always, I am your host, your head commentator, Isaac Fogarty. Pleasure to have you all here with me. And joining me this week, so I'm not on my own. I went a little bit crazy last week, so I've brought a friend along. I've got Justin. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Isaac. All those other bloody slack commentators. You have to scrape from the bottom of the barrel, don't you?
Yeah, mate, you're definitely not the bottom of the barrel. I always have a good time when you're in the booth with me. I think Chris currently sounds like he's gargled a bunch of marbles for a few hours, so he's out.
Well, whatever floats his boat.
He'll hopefully be back next week, and hopefully we'll see Ben back in the commentary box as well next week. I think we're down a few soldiers at the moment, but that's okay. St Croix is a very challenging track, very long lap as well, Justin. So it's going to be a unique challenge, especially coming from still a long lap. I say it's a long lap. Sorry, we were at Nürburgring last week, which was a very long lap. So it's going to be a little bit of a different change, having a bit of a shorter lap this week for our drivers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than the Nordschleife, does it? But yes, as you said, we're here this week at St Croix, or however you bloody say it. And I would say that there will be quite a bit of differences today in a lot of the drivers and probably in all the lobbies as well, because it's not as common a track that gets used in league. So yeah, I'm hoping that we'll see some closer racing, but I'm not banking on it because it's not as a familiar track for people, and I think there will be a bit of a skill gap here this week.
Yeah, we'll find out now. We'll jump into the track stats and the qualifying results. So let's have a look at our track stats. So fairly simple this week, 7-kilometer circuit, pretty much on the nose as well. So very, very act close to that 7-kilometer mark. So to round up, it's 7 kilometers. 14 turns, so far cry from the 97 turns that we had last week. And our mandatory tyre this week is the soft tyre. So from what I understand, their tyre wear around here is pretty good, so expect a soft-to-soft run for most of our drivers. Our qualifying order for today, Justin L, our reigning champion, lines up on pole for this one. And he's got Prying Stingray not too far behind him in that FR car. They are very quick, those FR boys. Curving Texas right behind him as well, just proving that point. ADR Mo in 4th for his second week in the GT3 series. GT Ted lines up in 5th for this one. Smashing Apex in 6th. K-Dot in 7th. Rockstar 420 in 8th. We've got Dawsey in 9th. Mr. Awesome back up in Lobby A this week. He's in 10th. L Sandwith in 11th. Nos Racing 12th. Street Style in 13th. See, Arnie, I'm not going to say the whole name, I'm just going to say Arnie in 14th, BVL Flash in 15th, and then you got to be joking making his return this week. He currently is running one-legged, so he is running 1 foot, so he's doing braking and accelerating with 1 foot, like you would in a normal road car, so a little bit different to how the rest of them do it. I'm pretty sure most of us use 2 feet, but he's resorted to 1 for this week, so a very interesting looking grid there. Justin, a fair few people up and down the order. Sort of gives us a good form guide, I would think, and only 4 seconds between the field. So, not a massive gap. Probably not as massive as we saw last week at the Nürburgring. I think there was like about 30 seconds between first and last in qualifying. So a bit closer this week, which is good to see.
Yeah, definitely a bit closer this week, but I would just like to correct you there, Isaac, because you said I was the reigning champion. I am the reigning overall champion,
that is true.
But the man Ridwan is the reigning GT3 champion. I don't like to take any undue credit, because I'm definitely not the quickest in AGT, which is a shame, but onward and upward, practice makes perfect.
That's right. Well, yes, you are. I do apologise to Ridwan. He's my team boss, so I probably should.
That's right. You're in the dog box.
Yeah, I probably should be nice to him, but. No, he is the reigning GT3 champion, you are correct. And speaking of guys that are quick, we're missing LP11 Meta this week. So he is out for this one. So
He just wanted someone else to win.
he wanted to give him a chance in the championship.
Oh.
So anyway, let's jump into all the action here at St Croix. All right, here we go. Justin is going to lead us away down towards turn 1. We are away. That very nice looking cool drive Nissan. I was going to say Mustang. This is not a supercars race. They're leading us away down towards turn 1. He's already gapped Prying Stingray there, so a fair gap forming already to the cars behind. They're all sort of finding their own bit of racetrack. It's a very fast right-hander through turn 1. ADR Mo right on the back of Curving Texas at the start of this one, looking to demote who we're calling the P4 Merchant back down to P4, where he belongs, I guess you could say. He can't seem to escape in the GT3 series anyway, that P4 position. He does quite well in the Mazda series. I believe he won last week in round 1 at Suzuka. But yeah, he's in the GT3s, just constantly finds himself in P4. But a fairly smooth start here from most of our drivers. Dawsey getting racy in that better electrical Lexus, that very cool looking Lexus. I commented on it last week, just very, very nice. And that Lexus just suits those supercar style liveries. It looks very good. But yes, very, very clean so far at the start here, Justin, which is good to see.
Yeah, definitely, Isaac. It's great to see that. As we talk about that, we see Smashing Apex trying to dive down the inside of GT Ted there, which he should make that stick because the outside line there is quite a lot slower and it's hard to keep it stuck up there with momentum. But as I say, that GT Ted has managed to keep a lot of speed, but I think the top end of that Supra there should come out in the end, and it looks like it does. But look how close everyone is in that pack.
Oh, it's super close in that pack. They're still side by side.
They are. And Ted's done it.
He's held on.
He did not back down.
He did not back down. These guys came to blows last week at the Nürburgring when Smashing Apex got into the rear bumper of GT Ted, and it looks like they're going to continue that trend this week, getting racy.
Dawsey down the inside.
Dawsey's gained that spot on AGT K-Dot, so he's seen the opportunity to get on K-Dot, and now Mr. Awesome. They're all ganging up on K-Dot now. Dawsey's backwards.
Oh, what happened there?
That is the wrong way for Dawsey. That is not good. I'm not sure what's happened there. We'll have to try and find out, but that is disappointing for Dawsey. Just got in front of K-Dot and Mr. Awesome, and I believe he's struggling to get going. But they were...
Looks like he might have some wheel issues or something there. That's not normal.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It very well could be wheel issues. It usually is a lot easier to get going than that if your wheel isn't playing up on you. So we'll have to check in with that and what happened there for you. But we've got K-Dot still getting racy with Mr. Awesome now through this very fast section of the circuit. I think they run through here in about third or fourth gear before they get to this heavy braking zone to come across the bridge.
Yes, definitely third gear through there. That is the optimum gear that you want to be in for the exit. Dropping down to second just gets too much wheel spin and generally leads you going sideways.
Oh, speaking of going sideways, that's K-Dot into
K-Dot in the wall.
In the wall. Hopefully he didn't get any damage off that, but we know he'll push on anyway. He's trying to find his groove in that NSX. He's switched over. He drove the Supra last season, and he's, I think, trying to get used to driving an MR car. There's a few of them that have picked the MR car, I believe, in anticipation of our wet race at the Red Bull Ring. Because they know
that's right.
The MR cars are going to serve them well. So I think spending time getting up to grips with this car, speaking of drivers that are struggling to get grips with the car, Nos Racing in this Citroen just hasn't gelled with him, didn't gel with him really last week, and I think it's probably a bit of a handful to drive, I would say, from experience, this Citroen. It's not the most cooperative car.
Yeah, well, I've never actually driven it myself, so I have no idea.
Well, speaking of cars that are cooperative, we've got Street Style, and it is his Beetle that he's repping again this week. Yeah, and his Birdie Beetle. He did quite well in that car last week. we knew that coming into this would be a bit of a challenging car to drive. I think he's already bought the gasoline and matches in anticipation of burning it out at the end of the season. But with his good mate LJ here, just getting into a nice battle for the top 10, like the last place in the top 10, and LJ makes a nice move up the inside there. That's why he's going to stick around the outside. But he's got a little car, which means
he's coming back.
He's coming back at him, which means he doesn't need a lot of room to make moves work, as we're seeing here. He can just find his way in there, and he makes the move stick on LJ. That's a beautiful racing move down through that fast right-hander, I should say. I'm looking at it backwards. No, fast right-hander. He's done well to get back up the inside of LJ there, and now he's made a little bit of a gap. These guys might need to try and work together if they want to make some inroads on the top 10, because they've got some very fast guys up ahead of them. So we'll have to see how they go. And then we've got Arnie and Joken battling it away for 12th and 13th place at the moment. Joken making his return this week to the AGT calendar, the AGT roster, I should say. He's back, and he's driving with one foot.
Yes, I believe he's nursing a broken ankle.
Yeah, it's not good at all. We wish him a speedy recovery, and just glad that he can still race and sort of do something enjoyable. Obviously,
that's right. Keep himself busy while he's out of action.
That's right. I believe he's supposed to be currently away having a nice little road trip on his motorbike, and an unfortunate accident brought an early end to that for him. So, which is a shame, but he's back and he's racing, and the Swedish chef is going to put some moves on a few people by the looks of it. He's already got racing with Arnie, right, and now he's looking to maybe make some inroads on this group in front of him and get past he's also good mates with LJ and Street Style up ahead of him.
That's right, all the buddies all together there.
Friendship is magic, they say.
But no, the GTR is quite a strong car at this track. I know personally, as that's the car that I was in, and I think everyone kind of knows that the GTR is one of the most stable GT3 cars. So, and you definitely need stability through this place. And Jochen is quite a fast driver as well. He's on raw pace. He is one of the fastest drivers in AGT. So I think we will see him come through the field here. And as I say that, he's right on the back of LJ.
Yeah, he's having a sniff here. He's really looking for that position. He wants to get up to the back of Ferbs, maybe break his way into the top 10. That'd be a really strong result for him. But he's right on the back. LJ taking the defensive line down the straight, and then he moves to the right-hand side for the braking zone. Jochen doesn't look for the move this time, just sort of stays in behind, takes a shallower line through the corner, maybe to try and get a bit of a better exit, but doesn't quite work for him as they come through the long right-hander down the bottom end of the circuit. Still can't quite make that work. They've got a long straight now, so plenty of time now to get into the slipstream to try and make this move stick. The top-end speed of that Nissan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe is quite strong. So he should find himself. You can see he's right there with him now. LJ goes to the inside to defend, which means Joker's going to have to go to the outside as they enter the braking zone. Nice and heavy, slightly wide, uses all the curb on the exit of the corner there.
It's hard to hold it out there.
It certainly is. It's a very difficult corner to hold it around the outside, and brilliant defensive driving from LJ to hold on to that position there. Now he's got to worry about Arnie right in behind him. Has Joken, the teammate of LJ, so he's in a Team XV sandwich at the moment, Joken, and I think he's the meat. He's very, very concerned. I think he wants to try and get in front of LJ as soon as he can to get himself out of this situation and maybe close up, because you can see that Silent has sort of started to run away a little bit in that beetle. He sort of bolted, disappeared.
Got into a rhythm, and we actually just saw on the screen there that Mr. Awesome has come in for quite an early pit stop, so maybe damage.
Yeah, potentially. We'll have a look at that. Where is he? There he is. So Mr. Awesome, he's back out now. But yeah, early stop, as you said, for him. He did his fastest lap on the previous lap, a 2-minute 9 flat, actually. And anyone that can do any sort of time flat is very impressive to me, because I think the Every time I've tried, I've failed to get all zeros at the the back
It is
end
quite
of
an achievement.
the back end of my number. It's very cool. You rarely see that in racing. Actually, there's always some little number floating around in those three little digits.
We
But
also can see a change of position at the top there.
we
ADR
can,
Mo has now jumped into third.
oh yep, and that promotes our good friend Curving Texas back down to his native fourth place, which is great. I'm sure he'll be absolutely loving that. Apex has also got past GT Ted. So while we were checking in on our good friends down the order, we've missed a little bit of action up the order, and it's still going on here, this battle with Apex and GT Ted, as that BMW has great straight line speed, and he's able to pull to the outside, but as you said, it's very hard to stick it around the outside of this corner. He's going to try for the switch back there, but not quite able to. Apex following that defensive line still, and GT Ted, he's still right there with him. They're very close together. These guys, they're
very evenly matched, these two.
They certainly
I think it's going to be a pretty hectic season between these guys. Wheel to wheel the whole time, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to see these guys, yeah, as you said, pretty much attached to the hip for the entire season. I think there may be a couple variables in there, but for the most part, we've seen it last week and we're seeing it again this week. These guys are just attached to the hip, and they're not letting each other go. As GT Ted very deep on the brakes into the first corner there, just avoids contact with smashing Apex. But that's now meant that Apex has a little bit of breathing room coming through towards turns 3 and 4, and this is a sort of heavy braking zone before you enter that fast left-right down towards the braking zone.
Very tough corner, that left-hander that they're going through there. Very easy to oversteer it and end up in the fence. Yeah,
well, it's the change of elevation as well. I feel like that adds a sort of element to it. That if you sort of don't get it exactly right, because I believe it's just sort of a mid-corner change of elevation as well.
Yeah, that's right, it is. I would actually like to point out that NOS Racing isn't too far behind these two and has had a very good start to this race.
He has, yes. He's not far off, so he's jumped the cars in front of him. The Street Style's now up into 8th as well, so I believe that's because a few cars have stopped, but NOS Racing not far off these guys. I know he said he was struggling a little bit in the Citroen, but he's making it look easy so far. He's making it work for him today, obviously up into 7th place. A bit of a tougher week for him last week at the Nordschleife, but I think there was a fair few big names even that had a tough week at the Nordschleife, and K-Dot was one of them, and I believe K-Dot has actually come into the pits, so I believe he has stopped if we find him. He has, so he's got an early stop as well, so maybe also carrying damage was K-Dot after that collision with the wall early on, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But there we go, this is Jokin and Sandwith going at it again, so Jokin now looking up the inside of LJ, and he's made that stick towards, I can't remember what turn number that is, and the little track map I have doesn't tell me the corner numbers, so we've just got to guess. But this is turn 14 here, so that was about turn 13, turn 12. So he's made that stick now, Jokin. He has been unleashed. You can see how much gap he's got on LJ already, so he's definitely got
I think everyone will be jumping in the pits here. All the leaders are in.
You are right. So all the leaders are in. The only two people that stayed out, funnily enough, are Smashing Apex and GT Ted. So they have stayed out and decided to continue. Prying Stingray's pit stop is done. He has pulled away, and Arnie just in front of him has elected to stay out as well, which means that he is now in the way of Prying Stingray, who's trying to build a gap over Justin, who's not too far behind. This is the battle for first that we're looking at here. So Arnie now has to slot in behind. That was very close on exit.
It was.
To contact with Arnie and Prying Stingray. And now Justin, how quickly can he navigate past Arnie? Will Arnie hold him up? I would certainly hope not, but it is a battle for position here technically, so he has every right to defend that 4th place, but obviously yet to stop, so out of sequence with these cars around him. So yeah, it becomes a question of how hard will Arnie make this for Justin, because Justin doesn't want to spend too long behind Arnie if he wants to make inroads on Stingray towards the end of this one.
Yes, I will not comment at this point in the race because I do know how this unfolds. And I can confirm that I did lose a bit of time at this stage of the race.
Oh, yes, I can see that. Here we go, in through the fast right-hander, the long right-hander. Justin, oh, there we go. Arnie is going to move to the right-hand side. He's going to get out of the way. But I feel like there was probably a little bit of damage, as you mentioned, a little bit of damage done through that right-hander, just getting caught up behind him. Very hard to let cars past into.
That's right, 100%.
Into that corner. So he obviously got out of the way as quickly as could. Very, very nice of him to get out of the way. Certainly wasn't a requirement given that it's a battle for position, but obviously Arnie is very aware that he is yet to stop, and this is not his battle. He is very much just trying to keep going as long as he can to give himself the best option for tyres. And GT Ted back past Smashing Apex,
Yes,
and they're both into the pit lane, so they're on medium tyres.
Oh wow,
So
they went to the mediums.
They're running mediums for the first stage of this race, so probably part
I
of the
believe
reason.
they're the only two that ran mediums in the whole race, to be fair.
Rockstar, there you go. Rockstar also
Oh wow,
on mediums.
Rockstar as well.
So 3 cars taking that medium tyre. Fuel going in for GT Ted and for Smashing Apex. Mr. Awesome jumps back up into 5th after that early pit stop, but the question mark over his tyre wear. Smashing Apex now leaving the pit lane. More fuel went in for him than GT Ted, so maybe a little bit of fuel saving. As I know that BMW very fuel hungry, so might have had to do a little bit of fuel saving. But here we go. Mr. Awesome, after his early stop, up into 5th place, as I mentioned earlier. What is his tyre wear like? Because
I imagine if he pitted on lap 4, he must be on the mediums.
he very well could be going for a soft-medium strategy. I think the common strategy around here was the soft to soft. So
Yes.
very interesting to see some people going medium to soft. Obviously, running the new tyre model on Gran Turismo means that the tyre wear is a little bit higher. So it very well could be people picking to run the harder tyre to just give themselves a little bit more chance with tyre life in one of their stints, as opposed to people running soft and soft who would probably struggle at the end of both stints. So there might be one stint where you're not struggling as much at the end, you're still able to be more consistent with your lap times, but then the soft stint, you know, I think people going soft to soft, especially if they're running 6 and 6, you're going to find those last couple laps probably drop off a little bit in terms of pace.
Yeah, definitely. You can see already the difference here in pace between Mr. Awesome and GT Ted. I think it is looking like Mr. Awesome is on the medium tyre. As we know, Ted is now on the soft tyre, and yeah, GT Ted is catching Mr. Awesome very rapidly at the moment. And as we say that, we have NOS Racing and Ferbs and Jockin. Yeah, they're all bunching up here.
NOS Racing right behind Smashing Apex. He's going quite slowly. He's dropped right off the back of GT Ted, so I'm not entirely sure what has happened there. If there was some sort of drama for him, maybe, but he has got NOS Racing for company now right on the back of him, and these guys in front absolutely battling it out at the moment.
Nice little battle pack forming here. This is going to be fun to watch.
Certainly is. Very nice little battle pack. We've got Smashing Apex, NOS Racing, Street Style and Jokin, AGT K-Dot as well. I don't know why I say AGT every time. I just sort of read the number. And then you've got Sandwith not far off the back of this one as well. So this is shaping up to be a nice little 5-6 car battle pack. And this is going to go on for a while, I get the feeling. NOS Racing looking to make inroads on Apex, who looks to found his mojo again now. Pulled out a little bit of a gap to these cars behind. But these guys, Style and Jokin and K-Dot, inseparable at the moment.
They sure are. It's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds. It's surprisingly quick, that Beetle, in a straight line. You wouldn't think it, but it does have quite a bit of pace down the straights, as you can see there, getting a bit of a gap on Jockin and the GTR behind. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing how all this plays out.
Well, I'm just thinking, small car, very lightweight, probably weighs fast in a straight line. He's got no weight in the car. Might have to put some ballast in there for the next round, maybe. slow him down a little bit. But he's also got the little VR headset on the side of his car as well. I just noticed, as he likes to say, he lives in VR. He's got it glued to his face, the VR headset.
Surgically attached.
Oh, here we go. Jokin having a look at him. Here we go. He's going to have a look up the inside, maybe get very racy through that sort of back section, that They're very fast section. You pretty much flat out through there. It's not really a straight because there's a big bend and the big dog leg in the middle, but it is a straight in the sense you flat out the whole time. But he's getting very racy at the moment. He's sort of fallen off a little bit now, street style, and maybe found a little bit of a gap. But then again, here we go. Jokin's right back with him again. So the ebbs and flows, they've got each other on a little bit of a rope. You pull away and then he reels you back in. He's going for the move in. Nos Racing moves to the inside to defend. So, here we go. Nos Racing
I think he had a penalty there.
Had a penalty. There you go. So he's conceded those positions to Street Style and Jokin, and now he's got K-Dot in behind him for company, so could find himself outside of the top 10 very easily if he's not careful about how he goes about this. K-Dot's going to have a look to the inside of Nos Racing into the right.
That's bold.
Left hand. That is a bold place to try and go for an overtake, as you said. And they're still side by side as we come down towards this very fast section. I don't think if you can go side by side through here. This isn't going to work. There's a little bit of side to side contact. No one is backing out, and the K-Dot, there you go, he concedes the position. I think the side to side contact probably was a bit of enough for them to say, all right, let's just back off for a minute and regroup. And there's plenty of opportunities.
Sorry, Isaac, I was just going to say, isn't it amazing to see how big an impact those penalties have on Gran Turismo 7? I imagine that was only a 0.5 penalty for Nos there, but I mean, look at all the ground that he's lost.
Yeah,
I mean, that is one thing that I don't really like about this game is, you know, some tracks, that penalty can equate to 2.5, 3 seconds all up. It just, it's a bit unfair in my opinion, because Nos has lost a lot of ground just from a half a second penalty.
100%. Now he's going to lose another place yet to K-Dot, who's going to have a look up the inside into this corner, and you can't really stick around the outside there. So that's a position for K-Dot, finds himself into the top 10. No, but Nos going to come back at him. Here we go. This is a nice little bit of racing. Nos has a look to the outside.
He's got him.
Oh, that is a brilliant move.
That's beautiful.
Just a nice aggressive around the outside move, finds himself back up into 10th. But yes, as you said, oh, massive slide from K-Dot. That is brilliant car control to catch that. A bit of Formula Drift there, if you will. But yeah, brilliant catch to rescue that one from K-Dot. We'll have to keep an eye on this battle as we go. We're looking at Jokin now. But back to your point, Justin, about the penalties. It is quite frustrating for a lot of people. I know, you know, the half-second penalty, especially when it's on like a front straight or on a massive, like where you're accelerating for a long time. It's one of the longest straights on the track, that front straight. It really just hurts, especially when you're close battling. I know the single player version of the penalties in this game, it just asks you to roll out of the throttle. So as long as you're not at 100% throttle, I think it's like 90% throttle is the threshold. So you can sit at 90% throttle and earn off a penalty. It goes off a bit slower than if you rolled right out of it, but it still gives you that opportunity, and you can be smart about where you roll out of it, where you exercise that throttle control to give yourself the best opportunity to defend the position to the cars around you. But in multiplayer, it just sets it to, here's a zone, we're going to just slow your car, we're going to take your accelerator away, completely slow your car right down. And I know it's very frustrating as K-Dot looks up the inside again of Nos Racing. These guys still going at it for this top 10 position. Nos Racing holds on for now. K-Dot having a look to the outside. He can't really go side by side through there. He's going to have to try and give himself the best run. You can see the marbles on the outside of the circuit starting
he's going to get him here. Nos was too wide around there. I think K-Dot's going to have the better run down the straight.
You are right. He's got a much better run. He pulls to the right-hand side of the circuit to go side by side through the fast right-hander down towards the braking zone for the longer right-hander at the end of it. And I think that's going to be a move done for K-Dot. But here we go. Nos Racing going to do what he did on the previous lap. Have a look to the outside.
Right, there you go.
But not quite. K-Dot saw that one coming. He just moved the car over a little bit to the right-hand side just to defend just before Nos Racing could get a car alongside him. Oh, they're both in the wall.
They're both in the wall.
They're both pushing so hard, and you can tell those tyres are obviously starting to go now because they're trying to push as hard as they would have been on fresh tyres, and it's just, they don't have the grip level, and they're just both in the wall. And
oh, Rockstar's going to get it. He's got a run on LJ in the background there.
Here we go. Having a look to the inside of LJ down towards turn 1. Can he make this move stick? I think he can. That is a brilliant move from Rockstar to find himself up into... Well, and LJ getting a bit sideways on the... Maybe that NSX a little bit more slidey.
Yeah, it's a bit loose, that car.
Well, certainly looks a bit loose, but that is K-Dot up into 10th place now. So a brilliant move from him to find himself up there this early. Prying Stingray is currently leading the way in this one. So,
wow, would you have it? We're actually on the last lap, Isaac. It just feels like that we started a couple of minutes ago, and here we are on the last lap.
See, this is why I love having you in the commentary box, Justin, because time just flies when we're commentating together. It felt like last week, like I loved it, I love doing the commentary, but it felt like last week went a bit forever. And it was only 4 laps, but it felt like it went on forever. This feels like it's gone for about 10 minutes, and we've done 12 laps, and we've been going for...
Wow, time's not the only thing flying at the moment, as we see Prying Stingray flying out on track, and he's pulled quite a big gap on me.
He certainly has.
Now?
He's pulled away. He's been very quick. He got the FR Racing livery on his car, but he is not down as a Tuesday driver for FR Racing. So he's doing this all for himself, for the glory. He's looking to emulate that of FR Racing and team boss Ridwan. He's going to win here at St Croix to cement his championship challenge. Justin L is going to come home second in a much better week after the Nürburgring last week, and cement his title challenge as well. ADR Mo will come home in third. Curving Texas yet again is in 4th place. And you can't help but laugh. GT Ted has jumped Mr. Awesome. He will come home in 5th. Mr. Awesome will come home 6th at the end of that one, smashing Apex in 7th. And then it looks like, whoa, this is very close between these two. Oh, that was very close towards the end between those guys. That was right on the line. That is Rockstar. Whoa, what happened there? Rockstar, I believe, maybe just coming across the line, getting a bit sideways. I think a few of them like to throw the handbrake as they drive across the line. Yeah, I think
there's a bit of tomfoolery going on there.
I think they forget that they're racing other lobbies, so maybe keeping it in a straight line across the finish line might be maybe handy for them to gain a place or two. And then Dorsey, I believe we've lost a car. Trying to work out who that is that we may have lost. Did we lose a car? Well, it says 15, but there was 16 in the lobby.
I think maybe someone left after crossing the finish line.
I can't see Rockstar. So our results, we'll have a look at that one more time. So Prying Stingray comes home with the win this week with 4 seconds over Justin L behind him. Very fast, those top two. And then it's back to ADR Mo in 3rd. Curving Texas once again in 4th place. GT Ted in 5th. Mr. Awesome 6th. Smashing Apex in 7th. So obviously that issue that he had coming out of the pits just made it a little bit difficult. He was catching Mr. Awesome by the end, but there wasn't enough laps in that race. Street Style and in the Beetle comes home in 8th place. Jokin on his return to AGT comes home in 9th. K-Dot rounds out the top 10. Nos Racing in 11th. A very good piece of battle, or very good piece of racing. Very strong battle between him and K-Dot at the end of that race in the last few laps. L Sandwith comes home in 12th. BVL Flash 13th. Arnie in 14th. Dorsey in 15th. And then it says Rockstar is 16th, but I actually believe he came home in 12th, actually, if we look at he's only plus 36 seconds. So I believe that was a glitch from the game because he may have left as soon as he crossed the line, which then does lag out the leaderboard. So he came home in 12th, and then Sam with 13th, Flash 14th, Arnie 15th, and Dorsey in last place. That unfortunate spin at the start just sort of cost him time, and he wasn't able to regain. Obviously, he must have had some wheel dramas there. But yes, Justin, what a great race that was to watch. A lot of battling going on up and down the field, which is great to see.
Well, it certainly was in the mid-pack, Isaac. There was a lot of action there amongst a few of those guys, and yeah, it was great to watch. A few dives down the inside and some amazing holds around the outside of corners and some repasses, and yeah, some amazing action for those guys in the middle of the pack there. And yeah, like you said, unfortunate for a couple of the guys towards the back. I can confirm Dorsey was having wheel problems in that race, which was the cause of the dramas that we saw him have. And yeah, unfortunately as well, Flash seems to be struggling a bit this season in the Lamborghini, which is a bit unfortunate for him. I'm sure he won't be very pleased with his results so far this season. But before you ask me for the driver of the day, I will beat you to it. I will have to go with Mr. Awesome today. He came in on lap 4. Might have been a strategic play there to maybe get out of some traffic. We didn't quite see as we weren't focused on him at the time, but he might have been caught up in a bit of traffic and got off those softs early and chucked on the mediums and some fresh air, and he made it work. So yeah, Mr. Awesome is my driver of the day.
Yeah, very good. I second that. He drove a brilliant race. He started 10th, and yeah, as you said, got off those soft tyres early, got onto the mediums, and sort of earned himself some track position and made it work towards the end, so he came home in 6th. The honourable mention that I want to give as well is Jokin. He qualified last, and he came home in 9th, and he did it all with 1 foot, so he's also another strong performance today. But yeah, Mr. Awesome, definitely driver of the day with that really strong performance. That'll do it for round 2 here at St Croix for AGT. If you haven't already, make sure you go and check out all the action from round 1, and we've also got plenty of action from our first season as well for you to go and check out on our channel. There'll also be the Lobby B replay for St Croix not too far behind this one, so make sure you go and check that one out as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Justin, thank you so much for joining me in the commentary box. We'll see you next week when we go to Kyoto for, I believe it's, I can't remember how many laps it was. I did have the number, but I've forgotten. But we go to Kyoto.
17.
17 laps, there you go. So 17 laps of Kyoto Driving Park. We'll see you then. For now, I've been Isaac. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.